Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
Are we celebrating 10 years? I guess we're kind of, it depends on what show we're talking about, but we'll celebrate this one. Of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time car show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Today coming to you from the Studio A here in Houston, Texas. We thank you for
Smoke and Mirrors Network.
On the Smoke and Mirrors Network. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars and King Konrad DeLong. And let's not forget Jeff Zekin in the corner.
Please don't.
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us, and thank you for joining us on the last half hour of our live program. So what day of the week will you be hearing this in the podcast? Friday. Just wanted to make sure that you were paying attention.
Thanks, Abby.
I'm always paying attention. All right.
So let us go now and talk to our next guest, and his name is Marco Encinas, and he is with Teletrac Navman. Good morning, Marco. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well. How are you guys?
Well, very well. I love the fact that you're wearing a headset. We can hear you so clearly. It's great. I wish everybody did that. At any rate, first of all, before we get involved in our conversation here that we're going to have, tell us a little bit about Teletrac Navman, what that is.
Sure. We're a telematics organization. We provide vehicle tracking all over the world for fleets that are, various fleets, whether you're over the road trucking or your local service company in the city doing deliveries or landscaping, things like that. So we track anything from powered assets such as your vehicles to non-powered assets to trailers, tools, things like that.
Wow. Interesting. So why would a company that, let's say, owns a landscaping firm and they've got 20 trucks all over the city, why was it important for the owner of that company to track the fleet?
A lot of them, it started off as security, but it has now progressed based on the amounts of data that we can track now to really increase productivity for their own fleet and being able to streamline what they do day to day and really help them generate more revenue across the board by just being overall more efficient.
Yeah. So in other words,
keep them working.
Yeah, it all goes back to the money. And how important is that? So I assume that your business is growing rapidly in today's day and age. It really makes the investment to track your fleet really profitable.
Yeah, from a business perspective, yes. But now the latest trend now is a lot of fleet owners are starting to pay more attention to driver safety and overall the safety of their fleets over the road. So through our data, we're helping them get a better control around driver training and being able to have more productive conversations with their drivers about how they're operating their equipment while they're on the road and just being a lot safer while they're driving.
I was going to say, what is the most popular or the most sought after data that you provide the owner of the fleet?
Well, the most sought after data is really a combination of things, right? It's GPS data and really how the vehicle's being used, whether it's speeding or running stop signs, or their vehicles just being misused while they're on the road, idling just left on all day. Because all that outside of speeding and the things that are driver behavior related, a lot of that also goes back to wear and tear on the vehicle. So you want to keep their operational costs down.
And making sure that the vehicle isn't somewhere it doesn't belong on a Saturday or Sunday when it's supposed to be parked somewhere.
Yes, that's the other piece, right? Is that unauthorized use. You don't want your trucks being out moving your neighbor's kids somewhere when it's supposed to be off and parked in a yard.
Yeah, I don't need Teletrac on my van. I got a phone number and I get calls on it all the time.
Yeah, especially when he's going down the freeway passing people at 90 miles an hour, and he's the office is getting phone calls. I just got passed by your vehicle doing 90.
But yours would just send the data back saying I'm doing 90, so they could call me beforehand.
So how does the actual tracking service? I mean, what is the physical parts of it that make it work? I understand it's GPS related.
That's correct.
Yeah.
There's a module that gets installed into the vehicle, whether it's connected into your CAN bus, OBD2 or J bus. or it's just hardwired into your vehicle, and basically we hardwire into ignition, power, and ground, and that device will automatically connect to our network once it receives power, and at that point it's just tracking your movements. When you turn the vehicle on, it'll alert our system that the vehicle is on now, and as it's detecting movement, it's sending in its position data every minute, letting us know exactly where that vehicle is at and what it's doing.
So do you have installers to hardwire it in, or can a small operator use the plug-in device and put it in himself?
We offer both. We do have installers that nationwide that'll go out and hardwire this equipment for you, or we'll train you how to do it yourself if you have a mechanic or somebody that does that type of work in your organization. Or we'll send you the plug and play. You plug it into your OBD2 or your JBus, and off you go.
Now, how is it monitored? Is it monitored by the owner of the vehicle or the company, or is it monitored by you, or how's that work?
No, it's monitored by whoever the organization deems to have those rights within the organization, whether it's the owner, the fleet manager, safety manager, whoever has those permissions to be able to go into the platform and monitor, then that's who has access to it.
And so do you supply the software that goes on my computer so I can see where my fleet is?
Yeah, our software is web-based, so you don't have to install anything. You just need a web browser and an internet connection, and with your credentials, you can log in and take a look at what
that
your
is
fleet
absolutely fascinating.
It is, because long time ago when I worked for the phone company, the local phone company, we started doing some of that. Of course, it wasn't well received by the technicians.
Needless to say.
And you had this big pod you had to install on top of the truck. But the reality of it was...
And two wires that could accidentally be disconnected.
And but to his point, it was basically to increase productivity, but there were several times whenever... the monitoring center, it had to be a center. It wasn't nothing like web-based that he's talking about now. This is so much better. But they could monitor and reach out, and if that technician didn't respond, they may try it a couple more times. Then they would get a hold of the manager and say, look, you got a technician out here. He hasn't moved in an hour, and he should have moved 30 minutes ago.
He's sleeping.
Not responding. Well, he's sleeping.
Well,
or he fell
hurt.
off the pole.
Yeah, could have been hurt.
Or he got into a car wreck, and nobody's known which caller to call it. And this one guy I was thinking about, he was actually so shook up in a state of shock, he couldn't tell him who to call to report that he'd been in an accident. And so there's a lot of value from a safety perspective as well as productivity in doing this.
Marco, is there only the only information that is available is tracking? I mean, could I find...
So with you plugging into the OBD2 connector, are you actually also sending back OBD2 data that the vehicle's producing on the CAN line?
Yeah, so we're picking up all the OBD2 data, diagnostic trouble code information.
Okay.
Other auxiliary information too, such as seat belts, things like that. So there's a lot of data that's being communicated by our devices back to our system that gives you an overall solution on the back end. Now, the other thing about our system is you don't have to be logged in to know what your fleet is doing. You can set up alarms and essentially manage by exception.
And if you're web-based, you can run it on your handheld device as well.
Absolutely. We have apps that just you can download the app from the Play Store, and you don't even need to go into the browser, right?
So let me understand this. You are the big brother that I've always heard about all my entire life. Big Brother's watching.
Yes, I guess you could say that. Yes.
Absolutely.
Have you been called that before?
No, never been called the Big Brother.
You will from now on.
Marco, I think we've been called other things for sure.
Marco, you said fleets. Is there obviously fleets, numerous vehicles, numerous people using the vehicles? What is the smallest that you provided? For instance, I'm thinking there's a couple that
for his granddaughter.
No, there's a couple getting a divorce, say, and they want to track the other car. I mean, do you do that?
We generally don't play in the 1 to 3 or 1 to 5 unit. Solutions. We generally play in the between 5 and 10 and above that.
Oh, well, for Don it would be 3 because he's got 3 ex-wives. So he'd have to get married 2 more times and divorced 2 more times,
in order for it
and
to
then
be...
he could have 5.
In order to be efficient.
God. Yeah. No, I'm good with all of that.
I wasn't going there, but yeah.
So within the data that you're receiving, you said it will track diagnostic trouble codes. So if the car pops an airbag, it blows a whole bunch of DTCs into the system, so that you could see that data of SIR deployment, and then will it automatically contact EMS, or is it still the function of whoever the manager of the app or the manager of the software to contact EMS to send help?
We won't contact EMS, but we will alert whoever you've designated as to receive those alerts.
Okay.
And those alerts, they don't have to be the safety manager, fleet manager. It can be whoever in the organization who decided to receive that.
So that could be one of the exception notifications, so that if I got my 10 vehicles out there, and one of them has a wreck, I'm going to get a notice if I set it up.
Correct.
I like it.
And that's just our tracking devices, right? We also, nowadays we have a lot of other equipment such as cameras that are super high tech. That'll notify that, allow you to look at the video almost in real time, and be able to really have that view through your monitor of what's actually going on inside that cab.
Now, will you integrate into the vehicle's onboard cameras, or do you set in your own cameras?
No, we set in our own cameras. Our own cameras are all AI based, so outside of just detecting driver behavior around aggressive driving, it actually, as you're driving, it's monitoring its surroundings. It's reading how the distance between yourself and the other vehicles in front of you. It's reading, whether it's reading the stop signs and traffic signals, whether you run red lights or you roll through stop signs, or you're traveling above the posted speed limit. Is reading the speed limits off the side of the road.
Oh.
And there's looking inside.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
It's going to get me.
That's what I'm thinking. I started working for the phone company when I was 19, and there was a lot of stuff we did that probably didn't want to see on the camera.
18,
and we don't want to even know about today.
Yeah.
Know these many years later. So at what point...
So do you have a best of video you can play for us? I'm sure you guys get some pretty wild stuff on the videos.
At what point as a fleet manager would it behoove me to actually look into some of the equipment that you service or install in vehicles?
Really, if you want to get to know what's going on with your vehicles outside of your yard. And not only just, again, productivity and safety and the things that we've talked about already, but because of all the data we track, we also help you keep track of your maintenance and everything that's going on with those vehicles. That when they come in, when are they due for maintenance? What's been done from a maintenance perspective? So we also help you keep track of that too, right? It's not just about, all about the money and the business and things like that, but it's also about just keeping your fleet in good health overall.
Yeah, because on the OBD2 data, you're getting mileage and you're getting driver information, oil life index stuff, so you could feed that into the maintenance.
Because generally, if that truck is down, you're losing money.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly right.
Marco, does Teletrac Navman, does it help with insurance?
It does. Some insurance companies will have that program where if the fleet is willing to share their GPS information with the insurance company, they'll give them a discount. Right? I mean,
That's good.
They have those programs.
So is all the data outbound to you? Can you inbound commands to the vehicle?
No, we don't write to the CAN.
Okay. Well, my thought was, OnStar with the vehicle shut down and the door lock function. So you could not, if the driver had locked his keys in the car, you couldn't command the vehicle to unlock for them.
No.
Yeah, you're strictly collecting data that people can use.
Yeah,
like
it's
you say.
all outbound from the vehicle.
I can remember we used to have a technician that would come in at night. When the technicians got off, this guy would come in with his truck and service the vehicles. And it was always some last-minute thing. Some technician is leaving for the day, and he said, oh, by the way, I got a miss or I got this or got that. This system, he would know before he ever got there.
Right.
Correct.
what he might need to fix the trucks overnight, so they're still rolling the next day.
How much does something like this cost? I assume that the more vehicles that you have, the lower cost per vehicle.
Yeah, and that's exactly it is, right? Depending on the size of the fleet and your overall needs, what type of solution you need is going to run you the per vehicle price.
Yeah. So you have a base price to monitor, and then it goes up from
Upgrades.
there. More services that you are asking, the higher the price.
And the more vehicles you add brings the price back down.
Right.
You don't happen to have the Amazon account, do you?
No,
You want me to work on that for you? Because I got a feeling there's some big bucks there.
Oh, man.
Or Old Dominion. Old Dominion advertises that in their commercials.
Yeah.
I looked at an Amazon wreck the other day because I drive by the Amazon thing. Oh, my gosh. I can't imagine the guy survived the wreck.
Yeah.
It was bad.
So
the roads have been dangerous lately, for sure.
They have. They absolutely have.
So without naming it, what is the largest fleet that you currently have these?
Number of vehicles.
I believe the largest fleet that we have now is a little over 8,000
Wow.
vehicles.
Wow.
Wow. So, I mean, that's significant. And I'm sure that you have the 8,000 vehicles because you offer a service that actually works for their needs.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, the cruise I had, the most I ever had was like 20, 21 vehicles at a time. I can't imagine trying to keep up with 8,000.
Yeah.
At a high level of oil changes and tires and just
Right.
figuring out expense for 8,000 vehicles.
Right. Not only that, right, but the drivers that drive those vehicles too, right?
Yeah, that's another story.
So, Marco, how do we learn more information? I mean, I'm sure that we've got listeners, viewers that watch our program that might be interested in this, or just out of the curiosity of how Teletrac Navman works.
Yeah, you can. We have everything on our website for solutions and including studies we've done over the years around traffic and general road conditions and things like that. You can go to teletracnavman.com.
How about coming back with us here in another month or so, and let's drill down to some of the things that you have found out over the life of your company that you could share with us regarding vehicle responses, vehicle problems, things that happen in traffic that you have come to know.
A best of video.
That's what I'm thinking, the best of video.
Yeah, maybe not a video, but at least you could share with us some of the things that have got a red flag on them.
Or Konrad's getting a new vehicle soon. Maybe we could put one in there.
Yeah, test it.
And
We can
maybe
test it.
just
No,
use that
believe
as
me, the phone calls are enough.
So what do you think? Could you put together some stuff for us?
Yeah, I think we put something together for you guys.
I think that would be an absolute hoot, and we could talk about that. Some of the things that you've come across that are different when it comes to vehicle monitoring, and we could have kind of a best of show with you.
PG-13.
PG-13, yeah, no doubt.
Yes, of course.
All right, well, hey, it's great to talk to you, Marco Encinas, Teletrac Navman, fleet manager, artificial intelligence. I mean, we find it fascinating. It's every day for you, but for us, not so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've got your website up on our social media.
All right, well,
Great.
thanks again. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys.
All right. And by the way, while I got a chance, we wanted to mention that we'd love to hear from you. If you ever want to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Okay, time now for Konrad's Car Clinic. What are we doing today?
Well, it's been a long, cold winter, and with the arrival of warm spring weather, we start thinking about outdoor fun. Let's talk about the working truck. People that are pulling trailers, people that are pulling boats and stuff. It's time to kind of get them ready for the season. You put them away last year, now it's time to get them out. So some of the things you have to deal with as you're getting your vehicle ready for season, and again, I'm primarily talking about trucks that are pulling a trailer of some kind. You want to go ahead and service the drive line. You want to change the front and rear, if it's a four-wheel drive, front and rear differential fluids. You want to change the transfer case fluids. Fill them up with fresh new fortified fluids so the season can start. Really, really important in something that you're pulling a boat with, because there's always a little bit of water that gets inside of it when you dip that boat down in the lake to get it in and out. Next up is you want to deal with the engine. Good fresh oil change. mileage on it. Use the right specified oil for it. That $14.99 oil change somebody offered might not be the right oil, but it might be cheap. By the way, when you buy something cheap, there's a reason it's cheap, because it's cheap. So, and I
He's
say
yelling.
that,
He's actually yelling.
Well, I say that when I talk about fuel additives as well. You want to drop a real quality fuel additive inside your fuel system to make sure it spends its time cleaning the fuel system up, doing the corrosion protection that it should do. And again, that $3 stuff you buy is cheap. The reason it's cheap is because it's cheap. You're going to spend some good money in buying some high-quality products. Then you want to make sure somebody does a brake inspection for you. Look at the brakes, make sure you got good wear left on them, make sure everything's looking good, that we haven't overheated a rotor. I'm going to tell you to go ahead and change the brake fluid on it as well, so you've got fresh new brake fluid inside the system, so you can start into your summer season with the with the truck all refreshed. Now, the engine cooling system, it's time to change the coolant out. Use a quality product, get all that old contaminated coolant out of it, fill it with fresh new fortified coolant. That's going to help keep the system clean, keep it cooling better. And remember, antifreeze isn't just about the freeze, it's also about the boiling point. So when you use antifreeze at the correct mixture ratio, it boils at a higher temperature as well. So yeah, it freezes at a lower temperature, but in Houston it's more about the boiling point than it is the freezing point, except in Snowmageddon we had last month.
The exception.
And then finally, your air conditioning system. After spending, the whole winter growing mold and mildew inside your air conditioning system because it's dark and wet, and all of the live contaminants that get drawn into your air conditioning system, it's time to deal with that. If you get into your car, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this next week, if you get into your car and it smells like dirty feet, you're growing mold and mildew inside your air conditioning system.
Dirty feet.
Oh, my gosh.
Gross.
You get into some of these cars and roll the window down and drive it in with your head out like a puppy because the air conditioning system's got so much mold.
Wow, that was a lot to take in there.
So it's time to change the cabin air filter and do something about cleaning the evaporator on it. And that'll get your truck ready for the new season. 5 easy steps.
Yeah, penicillin for that.
Are you done?
I'm done. Is that okay?
Yeah,
You're usually
awesome.
giving me the chop sign, like hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. So you weren't, so I wanted to get to it before you did.
What did he just say?
Something about a chop sign.
Well, he's telling me to cut it off because I talk too long.
Chop sign and stinky feet. That's all I got out of it.
We kind of ended it on a stinky note.
I didn't
we?
bring my decoder ring for that.
We'll talk more about the stinky ring or stinky feet.
Stinky
next
ring.
week.
Yeah. By the way, Jeff is playing. His band is playing tonight.
Yeah, tonight. That's
out
right.
at the County Line Bar and Grill out in Richmond.
Right, tonight, 8:30 to 12:30. Yeah.
Oh, the barbecue place.
No, not the County Line Barbecue. This is the County Line Bar and Grill.
Oh, okay.
Grill.
Yeah,
so
it's kind of like
eat, drink, and listen to your music.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
What time do you start?
8:30.
8:30. So we can come eat and drink first, and then be a bunch of rowdy drunks by the time you start.
Well, that's usually the case.
Let me tell you this. Somebody asked me, what kind of a place is it? I mean, wear a tie? No. This is kind of like a dive bar kind of place.
It's just casual. Yeah.
Yeah, very casual.
The ceilings are actual.
You cannot wear flip-flops. You're not allowed.
Oh, he could.
But I can wear my thong.
Yeah, please. Please do
My
that.
thong and halter top.
Harley Davidsons are delivered in boxes. The ceiling actually are old Harley Davidson boxes, like ceiling tiles, but they're old boxes. And it's actually on the county line of Houston and Fort Bend County.
So does it drip oil on you?
No, that's a good question.
No, but it uses a lot.
I ask forgiveness from all my Harley Davidson friends because I know your garage has got a cardboard box underneath your Harley.
The drummer drips oil.
It's not the one that was on Bar Rescue, was it?
No.
There's one out there, something like that. Anyway, never mind.
Swinging Doors, the barbecue place I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's different part of Richmond. Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to mention one recall. General Motors recalling 94,641.2 Cadillac, Chevrolet, and GMC vehicles because of potential seatbelt damage, according to the recall notice. The recall covers the 2021 Cadillac Escalade, which we reviewed earlier, the Cadillac Escalade ESV, GMC Yukon, GMC Yukon XL, Chevy Suburban, Chevy Tahoe. Outboard seatbelts in the third row could have been entrapped or misrouted behind the seat's folding mechanism, causing damage to them. You'll be receiving a notice soon. So I just wanted to squeeze that in there.
So did you hear Dodge is offering a new customized double verification security system to stop people from going around and cloning your key fobs? You know, that's been an issue.
I missed that.
Yeah, it's been an issue, especially in the Challenger Charger platforms, of people cloning their key fobs and stealing their vehicles. Now Dodge is coming out with, it's not a recall, it's going to be a special policy to put some extra software in the vehicle.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
The Tailpipes and Tacos monthly cruise-in has become so popular, you'll be able to attend at more locations. Enjoy fabulous Houston car culture at any of the 4 participating Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex restaurants. Tailpipes and Tacos will be held in Tomball at Highway 249 near 2978, Bay Area Boulevard near the Gulf Freeway in Webster, the Grand Parkway just south of I-10 and Katy, and the Kirby location off the Southwest Freeway. Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and awesome cars. Mark your calendar for Saturday, April 17th for the next Tailpipes and Tacos at one of the 4 participating Lupi Tortilla Mexican restaurants, 8 to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. See collector cars, hot rods, customs, originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in this friends and family event. Start your Saturday off right at Houston's hottest cruise-in. Tailpipes and Tacos, April 17th, 8 to 11 a.m. Participating Lupis are located in Tomball, Katy, West University, and Clear Lake. April 17th, In Real Time will be broadcasting from the West University location on the Southwest Freeway, weather permitting. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Real Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Real Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@nwheeltime.com. If you're in charge of your company's small, medium, or large business anywhere in the U.S., let the On Hold Company help you retain customers and promote your business on your telephone system. Promote special sales or company info when placed on hold. The On Hold Company provides custom on-hold messages with professional male or female voices, licensed background music with no long-term contract, no monthly recurring bill, and updates your messages as needed. Call the On Hold Company at 713-223-HOLD or go to onhold.net.
Well, you know what that sound means. Don't everybody just jump in.
Tell us, Aunt B.
It's the end of the show. Thank you, Barney. Well, that's it for this episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. Hey, when you're on Facebook, please give us a like. Tell your friends about us. Share our junk. You'll get Konrad's unicorn hunting features along with all things automotive all week long. The In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and on InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available on Pandora, Amazon, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. Special thanks to all of our great guests today. The In-Wheel Time Chief Engineer is the fabulous David Ainsley. Our Video Technical Director, Sales and Marketing Man is Jeffrey Zekin. This week's In-Wheel Time Car Show is produced and directed by the spirit of Lee Iacocca.
Oh.
For booking agent and podcast man Mike Out of This World Mars and his royalty king Konrad DeLong, I'm Don Armstrong saying so long for now. And we hope that you'll join us again on the next live show next Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Time, right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network. Have a great weekend.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.